COVID-19 crisis has our entire industry scrambling right now to move their communication with their customers online, whether it's in the clinical or in medical affairs or commercial setting. I want to talk a little bit about the more longer implications of this, because this crisis will not be over in a matter of weeks or months. And even if we find some kind of post-immediate crisis, new normal, we believe that this has deep and lasting impact on our customers, the doctors and patients, as well as payers, as well as our industry in the way we communicate with them. What we see is actually not just a shift to digital and a perpetuation of the current dynamics, but more of a reset of what digital engagement means between us as an industry and our customers. So what we actually see is something that we call a digital reset, a redefinition of what digital means in a blended experience between the digital and the physical world in customer engagement. Now, we can tell for sure that there will be a trend towards making sure that all teams leverage all channels, or at least many channels, in order to engage with our customers. But how is that going to be successful in the long run? Because we believe there are several dynamics that will play out that will determine what that actually means. And the companies that are focusing on defining a customer experience in the context of these changes, long-term dramatic changes, will be more successful than others. First of all, we expect dramatic societal changes. The idea for mass gatherings coming back anytime soon, people crowding into restaurants, standing in long lines, or even just sitting in large groups in waiting rooms is probably not realistic for the near or midterm future, probably not even for the longer term. With those changes in society, the expectation that customers have for their businesses in general, but also for their doctors and patients, for the engagement with pharmaceutical companies, will increase. They're expecting you not only to keep them safe, but to deliver a customer experience in the context of their own new reality. On the other hand, in the industry, regulatory pressures are increasing or adding. A lot of the pressures that are going on doctors in order to keep themselves, their staff, and their patients safe will not only come from the office themselves, but also from regulations. Now, what does malpractice mean? How do you ensure, what is your responsibility from a liability perspective to keep patients safe? What are the OSHA regulations? Here in the US, we're talking about work safety and so on. So some of the things will come voluntary or necessary, but some of the things will also come top down from governments to determine what is the right way to keep people safe. With the increase in digital channels, we can also expect more regulatory pressures on digital communication. In Europe, that has already taken place or will probably continue, and other geographies like the US are likely to catch up as the shift toward digital just increases. And with that, the challenges our industry faces will also shift. The priorities of what's more urgent, what's more important to tackle right now. So you want to go digital and communicate on many channels. Is your content supply chain set up to deliver against that? Do you have the right approval processes to deliver content in that kind of environment fast enough, quickly enough? How do you keep your sales reps safe as they go from office to office? Will they even be allowed to be on offices anymore? The ability to stroll into a hospital and talk to doctors has already been curtailed, and that will only accelerate. We know when we talk to providers out there that dramatic changes are happening in their environment already. As we're speaking, companies and are offering technology solutions to let doctors create virtual waiting rooms. Rapid testing and social distancing during the physician experience will, at least in the short term, but probably also in the mid-term, play a key role. How is that going to shift the environment that we're going to do business in? It's going to be a critical question. And how we define customer experience and a personalized digital and face-to-face defined customer experience will be critical. Again, there are no final answers, but we all have to think about these dynamics and see how they play out for us. And the companies that are finding answers that are more contextual of what's happening in the short, mid, and long term will be more successful in driving business success.